afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are, where you're watching from today. When the righteous rule, the people rejoice. You are in GBKM temperature room, Edo State governorship temperature room. Before we start, let me quickly appreciate and thank all our sponsors that have been putting it together for these 2 days. Special shout out to Simi African Grocery. We always say there are two African grocery in Canada. There is Simi African Grocery and there is the rest. Special shout out to Loretta Ogboro, the author of my father's daughter. Beautiful book. I haven't read it, but there is a lot of review on it already. I just ordered mine, like I said the other day. Hopefully, I should be having it soon. Special thank you to Andrew Enofi's, Andrew Enofi Real Estate Realtor. When you want to buy, he can get you a very, 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 very beautiful quality house with a very low dollar. And if you're selling, he can get you a great buyer with a high dollar or high naira, depending on the country where you are. Today is a very special day, and we have worked hard to put all the best brain together all around the world to bring you this discussion today. The first person I will be taking the pleasure to introduce will be my sister, Dr. Loretta. Dr. Loretta is a woman that have multiple hats. I really don't know how she multitasks, but she kind of gets things done. I'm still looking for a word to identify with her, a name to identify with her, but she also don't like to be. She don't want to be in the spotlight, but by default, ladies and gentlemen, I have to do this. Welcome, Dr. Loretta, to our show today, and please tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Loretta Oduwari Ogboro Oko. It's great to be with all of you here today. My background is primarily medicine, obstetrics and gynecology. So that branch that looks after pregnant and non-pregnant women, ensuring that sometimes when they are having babies, we make sure the babies are fine. And then sometimes they come with their partner, we make sure everything is well. But I've delved into public health and research. I'm also a clinical educator, and I do simulation and clinical teachings. I've written a book called My Father's Daughter. Importantly, like I said before, I am an ardent lover of Edo State. And I think there is no rocket science in Canada, in UK, or in America that we cannot replicate in Edo State. People have just done these things because they do have value for human life and they care. So nice to be here today, and good evening to everybody listening from every other part of the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to also take the opportunity to introduce somebody that lived in diaspora here, and you know what he did? He thought it's wise to go back home and donate his own quarter. And here he's back with us to be discussing this great topic today. Mr. Oyi Osunde, please introduce yourself to our people at home and in diaspora.
Hello there. Good evening, everybody. And this is Uyi Osunde. I am, as you know, I was a gubernatorial aspirant in this ongoing election in Edo State under the platform of AAC. And many of you, as you know, I'm a pastor, I'm a farmer, a philanthropist. I'm president of Edo Liberation Movement, also president of Kind Action Global Foundation. So, you know me, we are here to talk about the betterment of our state. We have been on the saddle for long on the movement on how to make Edo State better. So I just came back from Nigeria after staying about 10 months there. So we are here now to discuss more about the progress of our state, even as it relates to the current electoral process that is ongoing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Well said, sir. Well said. Dr. Brown, you are next to be introduced. I would like you to be focused on your camera so you'll be on the middle. Dr. Brown is an activist. I'm going to show you now. By the time I show you him, look at the hat he's wearing. You can tell that he put his mouth where his money is. Dr. Brown, tell our people a little bit about yourself.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ken Bazwoye. I must say that GBKM is doing fantastically beautiful by giving us the platform to be able to speak on issues that matters to the people, which is freedom and equity in this current time that we are. We applaud you, we appreciate you, and we want you to continue to do what is right for the people and for your conscience.
Thank you, sir.
That being said, my name is Brown Ehige Osevige from a very humble Christian family. I'm a human rights activist based in Toronto, Canada, and the president of organization # Edo United Movement, and I have a background in criminology, and which very much focus on how to integrate the people back into the society. My main area of interest is on how the law and society interacts, and also on social justice. So I'm very happy to be here. I appreciate everyone that have made their time to be part of this program. Hopefully we can have a very interesting and interactive moment together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That's well said, well said. Thank you. I'm going to start quickly with our brother here, Mr. Uyi Osunde, because he just came from Nigeria. He went there to support, put his agenda through, and he's back now. When we talk about election, right now we're talking about the Edo State election, and there's what we call vote buying. There's a lot of people that want to celebrate that, because as long as they feed themselves, they're able to get that money when they need it and use it when they need it. Every other thing is babash. Now, on the topic of vote buying, let me quickly ask you, straight up, starting with you. In this election, Edo State election, who will you say could take that lead and win this election between the PDP and APC, which we know they are the main political party in the states?
I'm confused. Are we still talking about the vote buying, or who is going to win?
We want to establish the fact that there is vote buying, and based on that, because it's not free and fair, who will you say will win this election?
I think your question is kind of preempted, because we cannot say it's not free and fair right now until the election result is announced. We don't know the premise upon which they will be announced. So yes, vote buying has been part of the process of Nigeria elections. It has been a negative part of the process. It is a mess. It's not something that we are proud of. It's something that we want our nation to do away with. So as long as and it's something that is practiced by these two political parties. But from today's election, I have seen kind of from the clips I've seen that the youth themselves are rising up to the occasion to even condemn or practically tackle this vote buying process. And if we can sensitize our youth, our people, to begin to, operate like this, it will be better for us in the near future. Because when I've seen them seizing some people who were in the process of buying votes, seizing the money from them, I've seen them chasing some of them out of the voting arena. So this is, if we see all these collective videos, you will know that the youth are well positioned to defend their votes. So that being said, on the premise of what is happening right now in the whole electoral process, if I want to forecast, you listen to the heartbeat. You know, Edo State is the heartbeat of the nation. You listen to the heartbeat of the people. You check the pulse of the people. If you look at the pulse of the people, you will see that the rhythm of this election is beating towards one particular person, and that is the person of Godwin Obaseki, the current, the incumbent governor. There's more rhythm, there's more support from the common masses. But if the support of the masses is going to be used as the criteria of winning this election, I think the incumbent governor is going to cut home with victory. But if it is the same old ways of undermining the votes of the people, the same old way of INEC colluding with some people that they are going to use, you never can tell. The things can turn up overnight. They can give you a different result. But if we are looking at the temperature and the way the people are agitated for the comeback of the incumbent, I believe the incumbent is well positioned to win this election.
There is another Zoom meeting that we were today that we were covering a Zoom meeting. I believe Wike is speaking right now on that Zoom meeting as we speak. I'm going to try and see if we can sync it with us. But you see, well said, the way you explain it is well said. Dr. Loretta, looking at the landscape of what is going on, the feedback we're getting from Nigeria today, what is your prediction?
My prediction is what my prediction has always been, that darkness never ever overshadows light. Good is never ever beaten down by evil. It may look difficult, it may look challenging, but at the end of the day, evil must bow to good. And today, the battle in Edo State is not between two parties. It is between the forces of evil and darkness and the forces of light and goodness and value for human life. And you can see that there is a body that wishes to change, wishes to change the status quo, wishes to improve value for human life. That body or those groups may not be perfect. They may not be 100% El Dorado, but there is change, and change is the most difficult thing in life, and people are finding it hard to adapt. Little drops of water will make a mighty ocean. Toddler steps will lead to running, okay? So today in Edo State, as difficult and as challenging as things may have appeared to be, I saw cases where the people held on to people who were stealing ballot boxes. I saw places where the people told people who were sharing money to go away. You see, followership has awoken in Edo State. And when followership has awoken, you can be sure that leadership will have to fall in line. So I have no doubt, absolutely no doubt, that the PDP is going to take the day. It may look difficult, it may look challenging, but the people have worked for it. And remember that the people are deserving of the leadership they have got. And now, in Edo State, time has come for change.
Dr. Brown, you heard how she's talking about change. Let's go from the moral aspect of things now. Like, some people will wonder, they will say, when it comes to this election, or even generally, that the way in which our youth celebrate success, their moral ethics are impaired. How will you connect that to this political landscape that is what is going on in Edo State?
Thank you so very much. I would like to agree with my sister there, Dr. Loretta, on the basis of darkness and light can never meet. But who's the darkness and who's the light? That remains to be seen, until proven. yes, there's the need for a social revolution because given the situation that we are getting, that has to do with antisocial behavior on the ongoing Edo State 2020 gubernatorial election, uh, you would all agree that the level of awareness and sensitization needs to be improved on so that people could begin to understand that this society belongs to every one of us. And if we work in the interests of the majority of the people, the better it will be for us. And people need to understand that delayed gratification is better than immediate gratification. Because at this day and age, we all have issues understood. We have financial needs to be attended to understood. But at the same time, we do not necessarily need to make it be at the detriment of our future, at the detriment of the unborn generation. What is right, and what is bad is bad. There's no basis for comparison. That is where light and day comes in. I want to, represent the opinion of majority of the people who strongly believe that the best person should be the one to lead them, and there has to be a total revolution on the way we think these days. You going out there to snatch ballot boxes, accept money to give your vote to a candidate that you believe does not have the interest of the people at heart, or does not have an history of being able to position things in the direction that will favor majority of the people, it is wrong. And we have to get out of that concept, in the interest of everybody, every single person, because often the time we want to believe that this very today is more important. This very today is not more important. The future is more important. Where we are going is more important. And how we get there is something that we want to put into consideration. And the people we believe will be able to lead us to get there is more important. So my people, let us try to understand that moral value is more important than trying to meet up to social expectation. And if you will, the society, the concept of the society needs to change a little bit from a moral and social perspective, because we don't seem to celebrate hardship enough, and there is this pressure of a societal expectation that makes people also want to engage on, or rather in, activities that is very immoral, in order to be able to impress certain people in life. But that is not important. How people perceive you is not important. What is important is if you are that person who believes in standing up for moral justice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we go, I have to play a video here. There are videos that we got coming from Edo State where people were actually stole the ballot box, took it to a place, and the people actually went with them, went with those guys that stole the ballot box, rebelled against it, and so on. Before I proceed, let's see the video first. Maybe it will make sense. Bring you in on this. What's your take on this video that we just watched? I'm sure you went through it. You saw what happened, how the people were shouting, and what we gathered from ground was that the ballot box was stolen, brought to a school, and they were gone after, and then people went after them, and then you hear them chanting and so on. Apparently, allegedly, those were materials that would have favor or that would go in favor of the PDP. As somebody that have contested, that is close to this thing that is happening, what's your take on how what will you how will you respond to this?
Well, the video you showed actually was just a video. There was no audio. I didn't hear anything from the video. There was no audio. And so I cannot really say what was actually happening there. But I saw a video, I don't know if the same video earlier on online, where the electorate were complaining that when they get to the voting units, the electoral officer said he forgot the voting materials at home. He said he forgot the voting materials at home. And the electorate, they begin to agitate and say they want to vote and they must vote. After so much agitation, the electoral material magically reappeared. So that is the video I saw. I'm thinking is the same video you're trying to play that hasn't no audio. So the thing is the same thing we are talking about. This is the same. You know, sometimes it's easy for us to point finger at INEC and say INEC is this, INEC is biased, INEC is not upright. INEC, this is a representation of all the institutions in Nigeria. INEC is in a mess today because Nigeria is in a mess. INEC is a reflection of what is occurring, what is happening right now in Nigeria. So I do not expect a hitch-free election based on, knowing what we are, knowing the kind of system we operate, knowing the kind of government we have, knowing the kind of constitution that we have, knowing the kind of lack of values to morality that we have. So this is Nigeria. I will only be surprised if it doesn't happen like this. You understand? To put it candidly for you, of all the elections I have witnessed in Nigeria since I grew up as a young man of voting age till now, this is the most peaceful election I have seen. And it is a fact. So this thing that is happening right now is a mess. It is one of the reasons we are talking, and this is something we need to eradicate, and we are going to eradicate it by a revolution. When we're talking that we have to go slowly, gradually, we are becoming gradually and gradually. We need a total overhaul of the 6 steps. We need a complete turnaround. That is what a revolution is. We need to dismantle the existing structure and reconstitute a new structure. Otherwise, we are going to be continually in this kind of mess.
Dr. Brown, do you agree that this will be one of the peaceful elections coming out from Nigeria?
Well, it doesn't seem to be, from what we are hearing. I want to agree with my brother, Mr. Osunde, that there is a need for a total revolution on the concept of how things are done. You know, because if we believe that we are we operate a federal system of government, and we would like to have a democratic system of government, then everything that has happened since the beginning of the initiation of democracy needs to be abolished. It's madness. It does not in any way reflect what a true democratic system is all about, or what a true federal system of government is all about. The idea of not having a system of government whereby everything is centralized, that is madness. That is barbaric.
But when we say, just drifting a little bit, when we say that, like I think one of the speaker mentioned today is just now, that it's not only the INEC that need to be blamed. When we say that there's enough blame to be shared from even those that are collecting the money, and those that are sending the money even to the INEC. So how will you now say, when you talk about dismantlement, revolution, how do we start? Where do we start?
Orientation, sensitization, morality, social order. Those are the aspects that we want to be talking about. Because we have to understand that if somebody decides to commit a crime, there's a reason for it. And it could be economic pressure. And the economic pressure is something that it could be two things: economic pressure and social pressure, social expectation pressure. That's the reason why there's a need for a revolution, a total revolution. There's a need for us to begin to celebrate hard work. There's a need for us to reject what the present day society think is what is expected of you. That pressure of I want to have a mansion, or it's a disappointment if I do not drive a new car, or if I work as a sweeper or as a bricklayer, it's a disappointment to society. We have to be able to get rid of all that and begin to celebrate hard work. I mean to say.
I'm gonna quickly butt in here and drift a little because of time constraint. We're reading from different blogs and different websites saying that the diaspora has impacted this election a lot, particularly today. According to what we are reading, diasporans were able to be breaking news before the people, even the media on ground, could even know what is going on. I'm going to go to Dr. Loretta here. I want to ask, how do you agree to that diasporans, most especially today, was able to do what a lot of media on ground could not do? And if yes, how so?
Thank you. Thank you. Before I answer that question, I will ask you, where is the link for this conversation so we can share it? Today, we saw the good, the bad, the ugly. And in all ways, they were affecting the election and they were orchestrated by diasporans. So we saw the good where diasporans came together in conjunction with people on ground. So there's no one side to it. It was huge synergy. People on ground giving the news and those here putting it out into the social domain, everywhere it can be heard. Then we also saw the ugly and the bad, where we saw some diasporans who took flight, went home, only for them to go there and begin to manipulate the process of democracy. From whatever side they were in, it was clear that these people did not understand that the countries they were in were created because people fought and died for freedom. People fought and died for democracy. They did not realize that. They left where they had light. They left where they have water. And they went to Edo State to go and start thumbprinting in personal hotels, wanting to manipulate the election. And the irony is, after this election, they will leave the people they've given 4,000 back in Edo State, and they will fly back to where they have water, where their children are in good schools, and leave those people in abject poverty. So today we've seen two parts of a coin. And the truth is, God made man in his infinite wisdom and in his own image and likeness. And then God gave man free will. Men and women have free will from their maker. It is up to them what they choose to do with their free will. So we saw that some people chose to go the path where they have no value for human life, and others chose to use their position to better value for human life. Now, whether the election is won by whatever party, it doesn't matter. But the important thing is that people took their time to put the information out there as it was unfolding, whereas some went clandestine to kill the information and ensure that it doesn't unfold, not giving the people a choice, whereas they've had a choice. So the diaspora, my brother, has affected this election, and for many more years to come. Edo State has just remapped the Nigeria political terrain. Edo State has just rewritten politics on the entire continent. It is truly the heartbeat. For many years to come, we are going to see more synchrony between the diaspora and the people at home. No one side can do it, but more synchrony and the affectation in positive light of our elections and our choice of leadership.
Thank you very much, Dr. Loretta. I know that you have a background in criminology, I believe. Now, from the report we were getting while we were following, it's from 4 a.m. Canada time. We've been on this since morning. And at some platform I come across Dr. Loretta. Well done, well done. Thank you for what you're doing once again. But Dr. Brown, let me put it to you, based on your experience and your training, the fact that from the result we're getting, some area was not really attacked by the so-called warlord, but some areas were strategically attacked where, for example, the video we just shown just now from different police units. Will there be any reason why some area will be less attacked and some area will be more attacked?
Yeah, that's the whole idea of a corrupt system whereby transparency and accountability doesn't make any sense to anybody because the people have allowed it. Inevitably, areas right now that is being deprived of being able to practice their exercise
their constitutional right.
Their constitutional right is as a result of having a system that is corrupt. And that is what we all condemn, and we have to continue to condemn, and we have to be able to hold the culprits accountable in order to deter them from continually perpetrating such behavior, if that is what the situation is. I haven't had the opportunity to get informations. It's not right on either side. Whether it is on the side of APC, on the side of APC, PDP, whereby security officers, due to influence of powers that be, are depriving people from being able to actually exercise their voting rights by way of manipulating the system. This is condemnable. We reject it. We do not accept it.
There's just if you watch the screen I just showed just now, because we are synced with another network that is having their own session going on right now. They just flagged what I just showed, that the official PDP page has said that they are APC trying to manipulate the electoral the materials or whatever, the vote. I want you to come in as somebody that went to Nigeria and run. Now, coming from two angles, first of all, why will some area be selected? Some area will be less interested to be attacked or to be manipulated.
You see, let me tell you, this is a gubernatorial election, but there are other people, participants in this election that have their personal interest. You know, there is a way political parties in Nigeria, there's a way they operate. If you are from a particular area and you are a party person who is interested in position, whether electoral position or appointed position, your relevance to the party is viewed by how much weight you pull in your area, how much votes you come out from your area, and how much you are able to. They use the word, if you fit deliver your area, you fit deliver your ward, you fit deliver your unit, where you want me then give you SSA, where you want me then give you commissioner, you will not fit deliver. So that is the language. So some of those people, because they are eyeing one position or the other, to them, to deliver their particular zone is a do or die affair for them. That is why you see that is why you see some kind of evil activity in certain areas. Wherever you see such thing, you know that there are some party faithfuls with sinister interest in that area. So in an area where you don't have anybody who is actually very, very adamant at getting whatever position, you see that most likely there will be peace in that area. So I think that is what is happening. And that is why I still said that this election, the reason you're seeing so much tension, the tension we are seeing right now is very, very minute compared to what I have seen about elections in
Now,
Nigeria.
let me quickly bring in, they are counting the election. Let me quickly bring that in right now. They are counting the votes, and you see the people of the PDP chanting. This is, I'm not sure which ward, which local government is this, but this is what is going on in a different network that we are, a sister network that we affiliate with. Right now, they are just counting and counting. Talking about counting, we have some breaking news. Some results just came in from Ward Ubiaja Ward 2, Esan West Local Government, Edo State. It is said that the result coming in is Unit 1. You have PDP 322, APC 50. Unit 2, PDP 137, APC 62. We have Unit 3. That's Eguare Primary School 2, PDP 172, APC 55, Unit 4, Okpato Primary School, PDP 96, APC 36, Unit
That's
5.
Upato wards, not primary school.
Well, they said the word here is Ubiaja Ward 2.
Upato, I mean Upato.
UJIOBA, Ujiagba.
Ujaba.
Ward 2. But they are just breaking it down now, that same word, which is Unit 1. PDP is at the lead again, 322 versus 50. So let's go back to where I stopped. Number 5, Unit 5, on the same ward. We have PDP leading again, 96, APC 36. Unit 5, PDP leading again, 68, APC 26. Unit 6, PDP again at the lead, 88, and APC 37. Unit 7, PDP on the lead again, 58, APC 49. Unit 8, PDP at the lead again, PDP 86, APC 22. Unit 9, PDP 70, APC 35, and the total is 1,103 for PDP, and APC is 372, merging 731. Thank you, guys. So coming with this result that is coming here now, it looks like, if this is accurate, because this is on this is not from the INEC, this is just us saying this. If this is accurate, Dr. Loretta, weigh in. Let me hear your feelings from this, because knowing that from the beginning you have always have your own candidate that you have always supported and you are always voted for. What will this tell you, reading this, listening to these results?
It's telling me, it's confirming objectively what I've always known, that God wins all the time. that evil cannot prevail when there is darkness, when there is good, and that evil will only prevail when good men and good women keep quiet. You see, I've been looking at my phone and looking up. I'm not being rude. I'm trying to corroborate some of these results with the ones that are coming up on the INEC platform. And I can say that a lot of them are matching. There are a few discrepancies, but a lot of them are matching up. And the reason they are doing this is because even INEC knows that the followership has got eyes on them, and the followership has got eyes right from the ground. So we will question anything that is different on either side. And APC and PDP, they've got the right to question anything that is different. They have as much rights as I have as well. Okay? But the important thing we must take away is not just the physical numbers. We must take away the engagement of the people with this process. The average man and woman on the streets. This is very important to my heart because as a researcher, I deal with what they call quantitative research, where you pick figures, and then I deal with qualitative research, which is the kind of research that answers the questions why, how. So if I tell you that we have 50 votes from a place X, and I tell you we have 100 from a place Y, the questions are that we arise from those quantitative figures is the qualitative analysis of where and why. So we can find out and see that when we ask the current where and why, you asked a question just now, and you said, oh, why are votes different in different areas in terms of the numbers, the surges? Why is it high and why is it low in others? And I can tell you the first thing is engagement. The second thing is the populational density of those, or population density of those areas. There are places that are very dense, population-wise, and you have a direct proportion to the number of votes you will get there because you have more registered.
No, but what we're trying to put across was that in our findings from what the feedback we're getting from back home, there are some areas where you see the presence of these unwanted warlords, criminals, and there are some areas where their presence is minute. And one will wonder, why are they in this area? Why are they not in this area?
They are in areas because they understand the dynamics as well. They understand that there are certain places that are key. They need to harness them. And they will go for those places that have more registered voters, those places where people have more PVC, and also places where they have more influence. You won't go and fight in, I will not carry a fight to Canada now, but I can definitely fight in the UK because I know the streets, I know where I can run past. I know what I can do to get away. So these things would affect. And secondly, there are certain areas where they know that the people may not be as enlightened as the others and that it will be easy, or maybe the place is remote. Okay, so there are a number of factors from the geographic reasons to the sociocultural reasons why people would choose to exert more of their influence in those areas. And as far as I'm concerned, the figures have shown on ground and they are coming in consistent that the People's Democratic Party is in the lead.
Wow. Thank you. Well said and well expressed. We're going to quickly go on a commercial break right now. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the nitty-gritty. By the time we end it, we're going to be predicting. Each and every individual here will be predicting who they think will be the winner. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the other side. Do not touch the dial.
Do you know who you are? What is your name?
Sometimes you wonder why and wonder how. Don't be alone. Just stay calm, cause even if you choose or not to.
My child, recite the words of this ancient mythology. The wisdom I disperse in this verse, no apology. Memorize to keep you from evil theology. For you, the darker hue, you denied your equality. See, for generations we perpetrated psychology. Divide and conquer each other, really lynch policy. You cannot build each other up, how will you build economy?
Do you know who you are? What is your name?
Welcome back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, welcome back to GBKM Temperature Room, where this time we're discussing about the current situation, the political and electoral situation that is happening in Edo State, Benin City. And in the studio here, I have Dr. Loretta here. I have Dr. Brown. I have my brother here, brother Uyi Osunde. And we are talking about what and how some certain things has transpired. Before we move forward, I will not hesitate to special thank you to Dr. Loretta Ogboro, I take that back, for her sponsorship. She's one of those that make this program possible, this 3 days program. Very thank you. Please check her book out, My Father's Daughter. Beautiful, beautiful book. I haven't read it myself, but I was privileged to the reviews that I saw online. Very excellent. Check it out. It's available on Amazon. Just get your copy, read it, and take a picture of it and share. Special thank you to Simi African Grocery. These are people that got our back 247. I always say there are 2 African grocery in Canada. There's Simi African Grocery, there's the rest. Of course, we will not forget Andrew Enofe, real estate guru, the man that can purchase any house, anywhere for you, anywhere in the world. He has team globally. If you want to sell anywhere in the world, he got you covered. He gets you selling in a top currency, depending on where you're selling, and he gets you buying very, very, very valuable property in a very low currency, depending on where you are buying. Thank you very much once again. Guys, thank you very much for joining us today. I want to, first of all, let me start with my brother here, brother Uyi Osunde. When you look at what is going on, look at the result, look at the feedback, you mentioned something today. I said that, relatively, when you compare against the backdrop of other elections that we have had in Edo State, this is relatively peaceful. Can you elaborate on that?
I didn't actually say Edo State. I say when you just oppose.
It's a little bit low.
No, you say what?
Go ahead now. We can hear you now.
I said when you just oppose this election, this current election going on in Edo State, with every other elections in Nigeria, this has been the most peaceful. Because this is one election we have not heard one gunshot. We have not seen people beaten up with blood all over their body. We've seen some. Hello, are you still there?
Yeah, we're here. Go ahead.
Okay, we've seen some scuffles here and there, people agitating, we must vote. We've seen that some people are saying rough handles, some people who are trying to induce others to buy votes or to canvass people. Not today, you are not supposed to canvass for votes. Or you see people. Ought to be is perfect. I think it's better than what we have been experiencing. So that being said, to the other question you asked about who do we project to win the election. I think we are past the stage of projecting. We would have projected yesterday. The election is done. The result has started coming in. And we have seen the pause, like I said before, we've seen the pause of the common man on the street. We've seen the women, the jubilation on the street. You see results of most of the polling units. In short, all the polling units that have been opportune to see, we've seen that the incumbent governor has won virtually all the units that I've seen posted online. So that goes to tell you that the people have made a stand. The people let me tell you one thing. the people are not rejecting Izeyamu. No. From the way I'm looking at it, the people are rejecting Oshomole interference. The people are rejecting Tinubu's interference. The people are rejecting Ganduje kind of leadership. The people, so it is the people that Izeyamu surround himself with that has done him this disservice. So, and the people are accepting more of Obaseki today because they see him in a different picture, no matter how I see him, no matter how I feel that he ought to have done better than the way he's doing. He ought to have taken other approaches. He has failed in so many other areas, even if he has done well in some others. So people, and a lot of people are not seeing it from a perspective. They are seeing him as a savior. So you can't take that away from the people.
Now, from what the feedback we're getting, most areas are leading. This is not certified. This is just what we're getting. We are not the INEC, I must say that. But from what we are getting, we see PDP leading with more than 50% in most places. What will be the reaction, Dr. Loretta Ogboro, of the people? Should there be, may God forbid, any manipulation tomorrow, and you see that the INEC will come out and say otherwise? How will you feel, and what do you think the reaction will be of the people of Edo States?
I said before that the people have engaged with this electoral process right from the very beginning. It is their baby. The people of Edo State have cut their political teeth once again. They always had it, but somewhere along the line, it looked like they lost it. And they are coming back into their own again. So because they've always been engaged with the process, if anything happens to that process, they are going to make sure they see it to a logical conclusion. In fact, INEC has a they're in a corner. INEC is in a corner because of the engagement of the Edo people. And this is the advantage of followership engagement.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me quickly show you this. I got somebody, I believe somebody was just caught that was being given some money. I'm just sharing from another platform right now. They are live from the UK. This is from Lante, my brother Lante live feed. I believe somebody, an APC member, was caught with his money, and now he's doing some confession. Dr. Loretta, please go ahead. I just wanted to bring that in.
If anything were to happen to the people's mandate, the people are going to ask, what happened to our mandate? Gone are the times, and I think people have underestimated a few things. Gone are the times when what you did in Sokoto stayed in Sokoto, or what you did in Edo North stays in Edo North. These are times where when you are doing it, it is going on air. There's a whole new wave in the entire world. Corona has come to destroy, but Corona has come to help in some cases. Whoever thought we could put Zoom to this kind of use? So let us be honest. If anything, to start with. And the truth is, it doesn't matter which side. It doesn't matter which side. It just matters that the people feel disenfranchised, and they are going to take whatever action they think, even in their own individual ways. And what I just said translated is, if the people think that their mandate has been stolen or altered, they are going to go on their knees. They are not going to cry only to their ancestors. They are going to cry to everything under the sun that they believe in. And they are going to employ ways in their own little way to make sure that they at least do something. And that is the beginning of success. Doing something. They do something to actually actualize that mandate. So let nothing happen to that vote.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very said. Dr. Brown, I saw you moving. Maybe you want to weigh in on what we are discussing.
Oh, yeah. I very much agree with our sister, Dr. Lorenta. Coronavirus has brought people to the realization, and I'm one of those that that belongs to the school of thought that something good can actually also come out of something bad. If the margin of victory is huge and it is rigged, I think it will be obvious because the uprise, the backlash is going to make it very clear to everyone. So far, so well.
But what will you say to our brothers that are going home, like the one we caught on that was shared, that was on tape, that actually is contributing to the electoral malpractice and render his hotel to be used for illegal practice when it comes to the election? What will you say? How do you, as experienced as you are, based on your background, what will you think that will encourage somebody that live in a civilized environment like we all live, all of us in this very panel today, to go to Nigeria and then unleash that mayhem on its people?
Greed. That's the problem that human nature faces. Greed. If you have a hotel, one would assume that you have some level of comfort, and if you begin to, and having lived in a developed society, and you engage in such a hat, there's no other way to interpret it other than greed, and probably stupidity of the highest level, if that information is correct or accurate. We have to be able to hold everybody accountable. It doesn't matter which side it belongs. And so far, the things that I've seen seems to mirror to one side, which I also have concern with, because I'm not going to agree that PDP is extinct in this current time that we are. Because some of the things that we've heard so far is much about what APC is doing, and which some of the improper behavior of APC members. I haven't heard some of those improper behavior of PDP, and I disagree. I would not deceive myself to want to believe that PDP is also not doing the same thing. So at the end of the day, we as a people, we have to be able to stand up for what is right, and believe that Nigeria is our country. Edo State is our state. And it's a collective responsibility for all of us to see it work. It doesn't matter what our affiliation is. It doesn't matter what we should subscribe to moral values and how we can make things work in the interest of the larger number of the people.
Thank you very much. I'm going to quickly say this now. We have a lot of news coming out from Nigeria, from our people on ground. We cannot really put all of them out because some of them really need to be verified because they are very, very sensitive. But I want to bring my brother in now while we round down. We have about 5 minutes to finish this discussion today. My brother Uyi Osunde, if you were to be running and you were the one on the ballot box, what will you have done differently?
That question is strange. There's nothing anybody who is contesting is doing. So I don't know, because you have a contestant, you have the political party, you have the supporters, you have the sponsors. I don't know which area you want me to do different, or maybe you need to rephrase the question.
When I say what would you have done differently, I mean, for example, you can tell that with this very election that just happened, both parties, both of the two ones that we are really talking about, they mostly reach out to diasporans and involve diasporans. The campaign took a different turn. The strategy took a little bit different turn, and more attention was paid to diasporans like never before. And I am asking if you were the one running, will you have taken the same route? Correct.
Well, like I said yesterday, the diaspora is the pepper them gang of this election. We are the pepper them. We are. If you look at the bunch of the results that are be coming out, immediately it pops up. It is the diaspora that spread it. You know, all the news, all the malpractices, immediately it pops up, the diaspora spreads it. And the conventional media is going to wait until 8 p.m. in the evening to report. And we are using social media to disseminate all this information already. So it's not like, I think they are trying to warm up to the diaspora. I believe they still need to do more, because invariably the diaspora is going to be the one dictating the tune of political direction in the nearest future in Nigeria. And we are just waiting for the next step. That is the diaspora voting right to be promulgated by the Constitution. When we have that, you will discover that the whole electoral process, they will sit up to a large extent. And even as we speak now, I think if we are going by the result that we have seen already, or even Obaseki, if he wins this election, is going to sit tight, because a lot of people have stick their neck out for him. So he is going to sit tight to make sure that he pleases the people. So doing anything differently, I don't see anything. I think I would have even done more. I would have even more approached the diaspora more. Though the diaspora do not practically have voters card, most of them, they don't even have the means to go back home or the opportunity to go back home to go and vote. But I see a lot of my friends are home right now voting. Some of my friends that live in diaspora right now, they are in Nigeria voting. You understand? If not for the COVID-19, my plan was to leave in April, and by now I would have still been in Nigeria voting. So it is just, the diaspora is a game changer, and that is a fact.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Loretta, I want to bring you in because we have a lot going on.
I'm just quickly going to add to that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sunde, for how you articulated your opinion. I think the question that Mr. Kenny asked mirrored to the qualitative and quantitative theory that Dr. Loretta. Hello? Are we there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, sorry. So there was a distraction. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to say that qualitative is a lot more better than quantitative, because which is what our sister just said earlier on, Dr. Loretta, this whole idea of the way majority of the people that is crazy, it needs to be condemned. If I was on the ballot paper running for the government, or maybe if I was in the position, I would condemn those behaviors and encourage people to subscribe to, qualitative moral behavior, qualities that behaviors that is sustainable, behavior that can put a society in the right direction, behavior that will deliver us from the state that we are in. there's an anomaly, there is social disorder, there's antisocial behavior. All of these things is what is part of the things that is responsible for the problem that we are facing today. And for anyone that is in the position of government to begin to condemn those things, and we as a people have to also condemn what some of those leaders are doing, which is wrong, in order for us to get it right. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very difficult for us as a people. You know, I think that area is something that I pay a lot of concerns to. I just thought that I brought in that aspect. Thank you.
Dr. Loretta, it looks like you want to chime in. I see you saying, Dr. Loretta, I see you saying something. It looks like you want to chime in. Go ahead.
Yes, just to buttress what my two brothers have said. We listened to Bassi speak yesterday, Sergeant Bassi, and he said that there is no person who just wants to be good all the time in the criminal world, and in the psychology of why people commit crimes. People stay away from committing any crime when they know that they can be held accountable, when they know that they can be held to book. Okay, then people stay away when there's accountability. And my brother Uyi also made a statement which somehow was corroborated by Dr. Osemige. The thing is, someone sent me something that explains everything we've been saying here. The person says, the education for the next election starts now. It has started with the way this election has panned out.
Right.
You see, the thing is, with the way the community has engaged with this election, Governor Godwin Noregase Obaseki or Ize Iyamo Osagie understand that either of them, if they come back for the next 4 years, it cannot be business as usual. Because there is a Brian who is going to ask. Because there is an Uyu who is going to ask, and a GBKM that's going to ask, and there are multiple people on the streets of Benin who are going to ask, who didn't have a voice, who GBKM and Loretta and Brian and Uyu are going to give a voice. It is even more difficult and more challenging for Governor Noregase Obaseki. Noregase Etua Obaseki Godwin. It is even more challenging for him. Because after all this rising up, after all that these people have done, if they don't see Osium or power plants delivering electricity at the end of the next 4 years, he's going to account for it. I don't stick my neck, someone said it here, I don't stick my neck out and not ask someone to account for it. In fact, one of my friends said, and I quote, he said, Loretta, you are knowingly proper. That's what he told me. So I think that he's even more in a quagmire. He has to deliver. And this is the example that happens in the Western world. This is how people engagement drives Canada, drives the UK. An MP wrote, he sent a generic letter out in the UK one time to condole with people. A generic letter typed and electronically signed. And he had to resign because the people said there was no sincerity. He needs to handwrite it, even if there are 2,000 of them, and signed it himself because of the situational awareness and emotional intelligence attached to that particular situation. So we need to get to that level, and nobody's going to come and do it for us. I always tell people, nobody's going to come and fix Nigeria for Nigerians. It's only Nigerians that will fix Nigeria for Nigerians. And it's the same way Edo indigenes and the lovers of Edo worldwide are fixing Edo State for Edo people.
Dr. Loretta, thank you so very much. If you do not mind, Mr. Ken, if I'm just buying in, I know that you like to give permission. Dr. Loretta, I just quickly wanted to applaud Dr. Loretta for that point. I couldn't. Sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I said that I just wanted to applaud Dr. Loretta for that point. I couldn't have been able to articulate it as much as she did. You spoke very well, and I belong to that school of thought. You know, accountability, transparency, not business as usual. You know, the expectation of whoever that wins is very, very, very high right now, especially for Governor Obaseki, His Excellency Governor Obaseki, because a lot of people have broken out of their shell to people that normally would not stick their neck out in politics. They've all decided to, for very
talking about sticking the neck out. Because of time constraint, we are about to run up this very segment of the show today. I want to thank everybody for your time, which was precious from day 1, day 2, day 3. You all were there. Special thank you. But I would not round up without giving each and every one of us opportunity to express themselves and speak to our people at home and in diaspora, and to whoever win this election by the time the result is called. So they say ladies first. I want to say ladies first on this one.
For me, it's simple. Whoever becomes the governor of Edo State, and the trend is showing that it's going to be Governor Norerase Etwa Obaseki. The person does have a huge load on his shoulder. He's going to have to keep up the pace. Edo people raone. Translated, that means the Edos have become better enlightened. And this has nothing to do with university qualifications or paper degrees. This just has to do with an evolvement of the mind. The people have evolved. They've moved from point A to point B. Of course, it can't all happen at the same time. There are pockets of a lot of people who aren't, but you need that critical mass that's going to drive the rest. And that critical mass is coalescing. So whoever wins has a huge task to maintain and to attend to the engagement of this status quo. It's not going to be business as usual. Thank you very much. And I beg to leave now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Dr. Loretta. Thank you very much. That's well said. Thank you. I'm going to go now on Brother Uyi Osunde to also tell us a little bit and talk to our people at home as to if he has any message or anything to say to them.
And concerning this election, my advice right now to everybody out there, regarding of which part of the divide you are, whether for or against the incumbent, whatsoever the result is today, I want you to please take it calm. Celebrate with whoever wins if you are in the celebrating camp, and mourn with whoever loses if you are in the losing camp, and have it at the back of your mind that ultimately everybody is a winner, regardless of who comes out, who won, who is winning today. Everybody is a winner, because whoever wins will work for Edo State. It's not going to work in Lagos, it's not going to work in Kano, it's not going to work in Rivers. So they're going to be working in Edo State. And so please, don't over-jubilate and lose your life, or don't go angry and lose your life or harm somebody else. Just know that there is life after election. So please take it easy, and I thank you, everyone, of you that went out to exercise your franchise, that went out to vote. So I thank every one of you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Uyi Osunde. Now, my own brother, Dr. Brown, please, will you tell our people at home and in diaspora, and indeed any of the party that wins this election, will you say something to them?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Ken Bazwagi, for giving us the opportunity to communicate to the great people of Edo Kingdom. You know, we are very special people in the continent of Africa, and that value must hold very, very high. I totally agree with my sister, Dr. Loretta, and our brother, Mr. Osunde. I align with them in what both of them have said. Just to add a little to it is that the election takes 1 day or 2 days before we have the result. But responsibilities for the winner takes 4 years. Let us now be able to stay focused to hold whoever that wins the election or that emerges as the winner responsible to their promises. Applaud them if they are doing something that does not represent the interest of the people. We don't have to applaud them if they're doing what is wrong. We have to take to the street and protest the moment we see them doing the wrong thing, and ask and demand the right thing to be done. The revolution had begun. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Guys, that's it for this session. It was crazy. Thank you, thank you. I want to thank everybody that joined. First of all, I will not hesitate to thank our sponsors of these 3 days back-to-back coverage of this election. Simi African Food, thank you. Simi African Food is located at number 50 Eddystone. They just opened 2 other locations, brand new location, bigger, where they can serve you better. It's family owned and family run. And we always say here on GBKM, there are 2 African grocery in Canada. The Simi African Grocery, and they are the rest. Of course, a very big thank you to Dr. Loretta Ogboro. Check the book out. It's on Amazon. My Father's Daughter, check it out. It's on Amazon. I haven't read it myself, but I've seen the review. It looked excellent, but I did order one for myself. Of course, a big shout out to Andrew Enofe. Thank you for supporting us this 3 days program. Thank you for being one of the sponsors. If you want to buy a house, you want to sell a house, yes, the right place, the right person, the right company that can help you out is Andrew Enofe. You can email him at osasandrew@hotmail.com. That will be osasandrew@hotmail.com. You can give them a call at 416-833-8909. Reach Andrew Enofe. You want to sell a house, you want to buy a house anywhere in the world. Guess what? When you are buying, it gives you a very high quality house with very affordable price. Then when you are selling, look, you put your product, your house in the market, and they make you sell with the top currency you are using in your country. That's the best you can get from it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you again, all our viewers all over the world. Do not forget, we are live. You are watching us on Facebook. Do not forget, we are live 247 on our website, www.gbkm.fm. If you want to listen to our radio, if you want to watch our TV 24 hours, www.gbkm.tv. We got you 24 hours. Download our apps. We love you, and keep watching and keep striving.
Sometimes you wonder why and wonder how. Don't be alone. Just stay calm, cause even if you choose or not to.
My child, recite the words of this ancient mythology. The wisdom I disperse in this verse, no apology. Memorized to keep you from evil theology. For you, the dark Kahuna denied your equality. See, for generations we perpetrated psychology. Divide and conquer each other, really lynch policy. You cannot build each other up, how will you build economy?
Do you know who you are? What is your name?